Cinematic Universe is his visor's heads-up display. Whenever we need to check in with Tony Stark, it's not necessary for him to remove his helmet, as we are treated to a close-up from within the helmet, complete with all the necessary tracking information that is available to him. The editing for his sequences is top-notch, and the shots complement each other greatly. For example, let's take a look at this incredible sequence involving Ant-Man. Hawkeye fires Ant-Man from his bow and he flies towards us. We cut once he is too close, and now we're in a wide where we see Iron Man quickly tracking where each of the arrows are going. We cut to another wide shot to get a good view of the action as Iron Man begins to explode every arrow. After this, we are treated to an awesome over-the-shoulder shot that resembles many modern-day third-person action video games as he disposes of more arrows. Once we see he's having no trouble taking care of the situation, we cut to a shot simulating a macro lens where we see Ant-Man getting ready to dive off the arrow, and in one of the more visually impressive and unique shots of the Marvel Universe, the shot does not cut, and we see him leap onto Iron Man and easily clamber into the suit. Tony Stark believes that superheroes should have their actions regulated by the government, and he is on a mission to bring back those who refuse to sign the Sokovia Accords. He clearly doesn't really want to fight his friends, but knows that it may be necessary since Captain America is determined to never sign them or turn himself in. What's interesting to note here is that Iron Man wanted to intimidate his opponent by immediately showing most of his cards. He shows up alongside War Machine, with Black Panther and Black Widow close by, and even summons Spider-Man right from the beginning. Notice how Captain America kept most of his allies in the distance in order to begin the fight on his terms instead of facing him head-on from the get-go. What should also be mentioned here is that Iron Man kept his most powerful superhero mostly at bay, and from a purely filmmaking standpoint, it makes sense. Vision could easily defeat Captain America's entire team except for Scarlet Witch, and it would have taken quite a bit of tension out of the fight had he been involved too much. This is also the storytelling reason for why Hulk and Thor are out of this fight. The directors thought it would tip the scales too heavily on one side or the other. In this fight, Iron Man is mostly a projectile kind of guy instead of a brawler, and he uses several of his weapons available to him to keep the fight contained. As stated before, he doesn't want to kill his friends, just bring them in, so he mostly resorts to using his weapons in non-lethal ways. He does have a bit of a close quarters fight with Captain America, using a knee which is blocked and taking an exploding arrow. His altercation with Ant-Man is easily handled by his system flushing him out, and perhaps his most spectacular move is what he does at the end of the fight once Spider-Man webs up Ant-Man's legs. He flies in along with War Machine and executes the closest thing we've seen in the Marvel Cinematic Universe to Goku's Dragon Fist as he pretty much KOs Ant-Man with a single hit. His fight ends once Vision accidentally causes War Machine to plummet to the ground. It's always a treat to see Iron Man in action, and the airport sequence is no different. While we don't really get to see his close quarters abilities in this particular fight, this is an insanely memorable action beat that was well planned, choreographed, and executed. What did you guys think of the fight? Which fight would you like me to analyze next? Subscribe, and you can follow me on my Twitter, Instagram, and brand new Facebook fan page, Godzilla Rex. See you next time.